There are times where you need to do certain things which you may not understand why, but you have to do it. I used to make sure that I work with a mentality that it's not his or her company, it is our company. I never used to shy away from even the smallest of the things.
From 2010 to up until now, doing 3,300 weddings.
If you are true to your core, if you are true to your job, I think with honesty, with perseverance, I think you are unbeatable. 2008, when there were the Bombay blasts in Taj and stuff, I was at that place about 20 minutes before the blast happened. So from there onwards, every hotel next day was shut. There was absolutely no point of being scared. Something that had to be done had to be done.
Today we have with us Mr. Gaurav Karia, a man with a lot of respect and repute in the industry of weddings and events. He's done close to 3,300 weddings. From being a teacher, a software coder, today really managing the big fat Indian weddings. We're really excited for this show today at Insights with Midas. I'm your host, Ms. Pooja Shah, the founder and CEO at Midas School of Entrepreneurship. Watch till the end because there are beautiful parts of this entire episode that's going to talk about the nitty-gritties of being in this industry. An entrepreneur who's seen it all and who's achieved it all. Welcome to Midas.
Thank you so much.
Alright, so Gaurav, it's a real pleasure to have you here at the Midas campus.
Thank you, Pooja.
Just talking about Insights with Midas, it's on our YouTube channel, and we've been inviting entrepreneurs from all walks of life to talk about their journey as an entrepreneur. And knowing about you has been fascinating because one of the first things that I want to dive in is that you're a software engineer.
Yes.
And from being that to actually being a tutor as well, and then getting into wedding planning. Yeah. So how did all of this happen?
So to give you a base of my software engineering background was of course because of the peer pressure. Went into the science field. Can I ask my friends what they're going to do? They're like, okay, we're going to do software engineering. मैं भी कर लेता हूँ. So that was the process of going into the software engineering field. Being a tutor was also during my software engineering days because that was for the pocket money. So I started working as a tutor part-time that time. And it flourished as well for about 6-7 years during that time. And to jump between the software engineering to the wedding planning company actually came with the very fact that it was very, very exciting to be in front of a computer, but for me it was not that great for interacting with a computer who's not having any emotions. So I'm basically a people's friendly person who like new challenges, who like to have its creative juices flowing. One fine day, I confronted my dad saying, okay, in 2003, I said, Dad, I would like to do something which is not, interacting with computers or coding and stuff. And he got a shock of his life, obviously. So, like, okay, what are you planning to do then? So, I said, let me try my hand into event management. So, he's like, what is that? Because during that time, it wasn't a formalized field.
Right.
It was very vague, very, very into a nascent stage.
Yeah.
So then I had to explain him that any event, it can be a birthday party, it can be a marriage, it can be a show, it can be a product launch. It has a planning that goes into it. So if I can, try my hand in that. So obviously the answer was no. A lot of resistance came in. Finally, I convinced him to, get me do it for like 6 months, at least try my hand for 6 months. And like, okay, 6 months is what you get. If you cannot do it, you're back into your software engineering thing. Also in 2003, back then, there was a Y2K thing that happened. Y2K basically is that people were thinking, anybody here who knows Y2K? So basically the Y2K used to that time happen when, where people were thinking that every computer in the world would not work because of the millennial change. And that time the whole industry had like a lag of about 4 to 5 years. So it was not as pleasing as is right now, the digital industry or the whole software industry, which is right now. So that time it was still a little better for me to convince him, let me try my hand there. So finally I got there, and it took me 6 months to finally get a on job, part-time job rather, into the field where I was getting like 50 rupees per day pay, and my boss was very very strict for that matter, and that was good, thankfully. But yeah, learning process was great. I had to unlearn everything that I learned in my past years, and dive into a field where I'm learning flowers, I'm learning stages, I'm learning lights, I'm learning everything. It's like diving into a new world altogether. So you had to, the process of learning did start, but the process of unlearning also had to be done at the same time. Otherwise, if you come with your thought process, okay, I'm so learned and I cannot be working into a field where I'm maybe lifting stages, or maybe I'm nailing partitions, because that is a process you need to do.
Yeah.
To understand the base of the industry, you need to be a student, any industry. So if you don't start from scratch, you don't know how to sell. Your product is your identity, I would say. So I had to do it. And my boss made sure that I did it, because he knew that probably somewhere he saw the passion in me, but he wanted me to learn the harder way.
Yeah.
So finally, yeah, the journey started. 6 months, I came back to my dad saying, I've got a job, and it's an on-site training. He was okay with it, but he was still not convinced with it.
So your dad was also a family business owner?
Yes, my dad had a business which was hardware, tools, sanitary wares. He wanted me also. In fact, he said that if you do not want to join me, if you do not want to do the software engineering, you can join me rather. And I said, no, I don't think I have the goal to do that as well, because it was more like, again, sitting at one place, doing one monotonous thing, and that was not something which I would have loved. So I was very, very open, and I think somewhere my dad knew that he was born to fly, and he wanted me to be what I wanted to be ultimately, finally. So yeah, he let me do it then.
And in 2005, you had not had any formal sort of a training in events, and you jumped into it.
Nothing. It was a completely a free fall for me, where I would understand that, I had to just be in the field and learn from the scratch. No background of any sort of wedding events per se were there to guide me. It was all on-job training. If you wanted to do something, I had to literally go to my boss and understand him. He was good enough and kind enough to teach me. But he did a good job there. So yeah.
So in terms of your early, events and stuff you did, can you share like one funny initial incident that you had, which is stuck with you for life, which actually made you more resilient actually?
Honestly, I wouldn't call it a funny incident, but yeah, there were a couple of incidents where I would say it did make me more, I would say more passionate about what I wanted to do. So, like coming back to my boss again, he wanted to test me if I wanted to be in the field really or no, So what he did was, one fine day, there was no event on that particular day, and we were sitting in office. So he told me, okay, what you can do is go to the godown. You can check what the material is and what we have in the godown. I said, okay. So I had to basically make a list of all the things, go to the godown, literally check it with our own hand, write it down and bring it back in the evening. The godown was somewhere which was about 3 kilometers away. No fans, no light, just a shed of about 5,000 square feet. I said, okay. So I go there, I count everything from morning 9 o'clock till like evening 7 o'clock till the daylight went. I came back and I gave him the list of things. Very happy. He was very happy with all the things. Next day morning again, no event. I'm sitting there in front of him saying, why don't you go back to the godown and get a list of things again? I like, but I did it yesterday and there was nothing which went out. Like, no, I want you to go to godown and get the things again sorted. Do you mind? So I like, no, but so I didn't understand what was the procedure, but he wanted to see how deeply I wanted to be into the field. So that was his idea of how much perseverance and patience I have to do it continuously. So he did that with me for 3 continuous days. But the third day, he said, okay, you know what, that's okay. Now I know exactly what is there now in the godown. So, but that was a lesson. So I couldn't understand that time why he was doing it. There was a very big resistance also that came in me saying, I'm not doing it. But no, he wanted to teach me the harder way that there are times where you need to do certain things which you may not understand why, but you have to do it. So yeah, that was something which I would say made my hunger more to be stuck into the field or stuck into the place where things keep going. So such incidents are there which try your patience, which try your base of being into where you are. It'll question you, but then just keep going with the flow if you want to do something truly.
Right.
So yeah.
No, one more thing that I remembered whilst you were talking is that there are so many things that we don't like also. So for example, finance may not be always a very fun aspect of business, but we all have to do it.
We have to do it.
And what is that one thing that you don't like and you have to do?
Yes, you actually pointed out right. Finance, taxes, filling forms, giving the whole list of things at the end of the year to the accountant, because that's something which I dread.
Yeah, absolutely.
I dread because I have done transactions, I've done POSs, I've done the UPIs, and the end of the year, when the accountant calls me saying, what was this transaction?
Kuch yaad nahi aata hai.
I'm completely blank. So yeah, that is something. So sitting with the finance every quarter, every 6 months is something that I really dread. But that's a part and parcel of the thing. So apply yourself, even because that is a part of your business. Apply yourself. You have to sit across and do it. So slowly that has come into me, but I still hate it. I still hate it. Yeah.
I've started telling myself, "Mera hi hai, so I should sit and do it." So
yeah.
I mean, getting irritated is not helping.
Not something.
It's one of the most annoying things to do.
Correct,
True.
Correct.
So I wanted to say that it's been a phenomenal journey for you up until now. Definitely, people know about your brand, but in 2010, how did the birth of your company come about, and what was the whole thinking process from 2005 to 2010? What was that like for you?
So, like I said, I worked with a firm for about 4 or 5 years. It was a very good journey for me. The firm used to also work with these hotels where they are on panel yet. So that helped me a lot to gain experience. That helped me a lot to understand where and how the journey happens of the industry. It really taught me from the first ABC till where till the decision I took to get into the field of fly alone rather. In 2010, being a Gujarati, obviously there's always a keeda of doing something which you want to do, karna hai, thoda sa apna khud ka to chalu karna hai types. So that was always there. So even when I was working with someone, I used to make sure that I work with a mentality that it's not his or her company, it is our company. I never used to shy away from even the smallest of the things. I used to directly give my reporting to the bosses directly. So that helped me understand their thought processes also. It helped me understand how they perform, how they grow, what they do. So there was a direct learning procedure for me, and every time I was given a task, big or small, I made sure that it was done with passion. It wasn't a resistance that came into me. It wasn't something that I would shy away from. So there was always the thought. To give you an example, in 2008, when there were the Bombay blasts in Taj and stuff, I was at that place about 20 minutes before the blast happened.
Wow.
Because we were having an event there. So me and a couple of our team members went down to have dinner. I think about 9:20ish was the attack, and we left about at 8:55 or 9 o'clock from that place, and we were heading towards the Colaba market to eat, and that's when we heard the commotion, and there was running around and stuff. Uh, that whole episode. So from there onwards, every hotel next day was shut because there were threats, there were rumors. So from 2000, from 28th of November till 30th, we were jam packed because it was season time.
Right.
We were jam packed with about 9 events. All the hotels had made sure that each truck that comes was about 2 kilometers away from the hotel. It had to be screened. It was stopped there. The barricades of the hotel was done. It was stopped there, and everything had to be manually carried. So imagine something which comes to your door and then the unloading happens. It is now almost 2 kilometers away from each hotel. So from 27th night till the 30th of November, we had 9 events. I had hardly slept. On 30th, when the event happened, the November 30th event happened, I called up my boss saying, "Hi, all the 9 events are done." She was shocked, saying, "You are still up?" So she wasn't aware of the things that where all and how the things are happening. But the event went smooth, not considering it is not my job even to do, because there were a lot of other people also who were involved. But I made sure each and every event was done very well, even with all the resistance that we faced from all the hotels across Bombay because of this attack.
Weren't you all scared?
Didn't have an option because the events were there. Obviously, the people who were going to come had reduced to about 50% of the client guest. But yeah, there was absolutely no point of being scared. Something that had to be done had to be done. So it went smoothly. So after 9 events, after 72 hours of being up, the last call came to my boss saying, it's all done. Don't worry. We have 9 events, which went very smoothly. She, up until that moment, thought the events were not happening because that was the way which we took the load off her, thinking it's our event.
Right.
So this is the passion when you have into your job as well, thinking it's your particular baby. You can then turn into giving your 100% when you open your own firm.
Yeah.
So that is what I mean, that you never should have a job mentality, even when you're on a job. Do what is told to you, go extra, do extra. That will help you always in your own business. Perseverance is obviously something which is the key to your thought process in that.
Agreed.
So yeah, 2010, then finally we thought it's time for, giving your own shot. And again, I gave 6 months to my business thinking, okay, in 6 months, if it doesn't happen, I'll go back to what I was doing, a job. So, but yeah, things worked out well so far.
So something that I really wanted to ask you is why saffron?
Right. So saffron is something which is the most closest element to Lord Krishna. We believe in Lord Krishna a lot. So it just came one fine day, that word came to my mind, and when on the occasions of festivals or on the occasion of something which is good, we have saffron which is used for things where, what do you call, the gods things. So it was just a thought and I did not think much about it. So yeah, it had a divine connection to it. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And from 2010 to up until now, doing 3,300 weddings. I mean, the growth is phenomenal. It's something that you are, and I'm sure, very proud of. I would love to know how you grew, expanded, and how it is today being at this position.
So in 2010, when we started, there was a people were aware that I branched out. So my first break came from a friend who had his event in a place called Mirage in Andheri. It was a new hotel at that time, and he had an event there. So he said, "Will you be able to do it?" And I was like, yeah, why not? More than glad. So we did that event. The event went really well. The owners of the hotel, since it was a new hotel, also loved the event. The whole way, the way it was conducted and stuff. So they proposed us if we would love to be on the panel of the hotel.
Right.
So that was the break which we got from a friend's reference who did his event, but the owners of the hotel who saw the event happening there were impressed with the execution. So they offered us, that was our first break of being on a hotel panel in Bombay. From there, the journey started. They referred us to some other places, and our friends also, had connections, so who also referred us to places and stuff. And more than that, if you are true to your core, if you are true to your job, if you are doing your job with a mentality of just what is needed by you to be done, I think with honesty, with perseverance, I think you are unbeatable. That was the only motive that we went with, and it worked out. Yeah.
Amazing. So you're, on one of the biggest panels in Mumbai today, like on panels of hotels, and you did share how those collaborations came about with Mirage happening first, and then obviously you started. Is it like a very tough journey to get on
It
these
is.
panels,
It
or
is. It is.
I mean, if someone wants to, how does one go about
It is a very, very tough process. You need to really be there all the time. So these hotels did not come very easily. So though Mirage came us in the first year, it came with us in the first year itself. To crack a 5-star, another 5-star, it took us another 5 to 6 years. So, but you have to keep knocking at the door. You have to be there. You have to meet the people. You have to show your work. You have to show them what you're capable of. There are people who are waiting in line like you, who know, if there's an opportunity, they'll just zoom in.
Yeah.
So there is no place for complacency. So every second, third month, you knock the door. You know where it is, and with your work at other places. So only on the panel is not what you are, going to fly with. You have to keep doing jobs which are otherwise also in beyond the panel work also. We do a lot of work with places in Udaipur. We do a lot of work with places in Jaipur, Goa. So these are the places that we do keep working, and then we are not on panel there. So those work, when they go out, they know that there is a person who has that much capacity to work at your luxurious hotel. It took us 12 years to crack Taj Lands End. So yeah, like I said, you have to keep knocking. If you wanted, you have to keep knocking, and that's
Why
when
do
the
you think
barrier
they
breaks.
chose you? Why do you finally think they said, let's go for this?
So yeah, there is a story where, like you said, we work with Mr. Ratan Tata in at his residence. That also came through one of the hotels that we are on panel with. So the person whose event was, he's actually a friend. He was actually a friend of Mr. Tata, and it was, though he's very young, but he's actually a friend of his, and he had his wedding in Sir Ratan Tata's house residence. That was the only time where a wedding decor has happened in his house.
Yeah.
So he had his event in Taj Santa Cruz, and then he said that we also have an event at some prestigious place. He did not reveal the name. Or I said okay. So then he got me to a residence. I also had not seen the place yet, so he got me to the residence. And then he told me that this is Sir Tata's house. This is where we are going to go. Till the last minute, we were not told where we were going to go. So when he came there, he said, "This is Mr. Tata's house. And this is where we are going to have our event." So when I went there, I was absolutely zapped with the way he was rather. It was like meeting a demigod. His aura, his presence was completely around. So when I sat there, I was speechless, and he wanted to see what we were going to do. So his biggest concern was that he has 2 dogs with him. He had 2 dogs with him. That when we do an event in that lawn, there should not be any nails left out.
Oh.
So that was his main concern. He said, can be done. So then after that process, he sat with us for about 30-40 minutes. He understood what all he would like to be done there, the do's and don'ts, the kind. He himself was an interior designer and an architect as well. So he gave us inputs of how it can be done. And with all that, we did the event very, very well, very smoothly. He was impressed. And finally, then, he came to know that we've been trying for a couple of hotels across in Bombay. So he himself had his team call up the places, and so it was basically a plan. I would say a God's plan. It was not something which was planned before. It was not something that I would be doing his work. But after seeing our work, he said, "You're the only people who are allowed in our house to do this event, and I'm really happy that you all happened to do it for us." So that was the biggest compliment of our life that we got.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
Can we have a round of applause on that? Amazing.
So that's how we got into that.
So, from this story, I also wanted to talk about Priya, who's involved in the business with you, who's sort of the creative head
Right.
alongside you. So, are you all broadly, dividing work, or how does that work with partnerships as well?
So with Priya is basically, she's the eye of the company. That's what I call her. She has an eye for detail. She is the one who will make sure things are happening in a particular way. For me, I am the executioner. I would rather look into the overall execution of the work, but when she comes on sites, she will see the minute detailing where things are needed to be spruced up.
Correct.
So she has a creative eye. She has her own way of looking at a particular design, and then she helps in creating a new design. She helps in meeting the client if there is something which is new to be developed. So she's the one who comes into the forefront and takes it over. I am more like the back end guy who will take care of the rest of the things, like the legs of the company, I would call it.
Yeah.
But there is the eye who will go into the minute detailing of everything. So she is that way, I would say, the heart, and who mainly keeps giving us the creative inputs, and we are all the people who are from behind who execute it. So that's what she.
Is it important to have this sort of a heart and legs and sort of hands within a company so that more work gets done?
Yes, it is always needed to divide it well. If you don't divide, and if you are like, see, initially when you are a smaller team, you do need to do everything. You are a peon and you are a principal. So that is given when you start. You have to know each and every bracket of your company. But if you don't know, then you can't go further up. But as you grow, as the company is growing, you need to have people who are below you. You have to divide the work, otherwise you'll be exhausted. You'll burn out within a few years. Thus, you have to mark people who are good at a particular thing and give them to do their best job. Else, if you keep doing what you are and looking at an overall thing, at some point you'll have a burnout. So you rather have it equally divided to people who are good at their particular things. Yeah.
So are you someone who gives freedom to
Absolutely.
people who work for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would let them go to a client suddenly and let them fall also in front of the client flat. It's okay, because I know that back I will be, seeing what is happening. But I would want them to fall flat on a client's face. That's fine with me. But at least they will have it in them to again get up and then not repeat it next time. So yeah, the liberties are given to my team. They have to do that. They have to do that. It's
amazing.
So we have to make sure that they are not going to be, scared of facing a client, or somebody is not, apprehensive of bargaining with a vendor, for example. So we let them do it. Yes, we are there to make them, better in their own particular strengths, but they have to be exposed. So
Yeah.
only then you can create leaders. Only then you can create a place where people are not feeling congested.
Yeah.
So that is very important. So our team has the liberty. It's okay. Let them fall, let them fail. Couple of times we'll make sure that it doesn't happen, but it is needed.
So I think again, like whilst I'm hearing you, it's also a very top-down thing, right? So if you have been someone who's always had the ownership mentality, you'll end up having a lot of people who you would like to work with or are a part of your team who take ownership and
Absolutely.
take it like, okay, ye mera hai, main karunga.
Correct.
So we end up with similar people also.
It is needed. It is needed. So that thought process has to be there. That person has to think that I'm not working with Saffron.
I am working.
I am working for myself. That thought process has to be there. If it's not there, then that person will not be able to have a growth in his personal life as well later.
Amazing.
So that freedom, that wings have to be developed. Otherwise, you are not going to fly high.
So one more question that came to my mind was, what is like the toughest wedding you've done so far? Like you found it really, really tiring and difficult.
There were a couple of events that we did out of Bombay. One was in Jaipur. So what we had done was we had taken our stuff here from Bombay, 60-70% of stuff from Bombay, and reached the place. And we had hired a local guy there who was doing the base of our stage or backdrop on basic, drapes and stuff. Everything was planned, everything was worked out. The whole mechanism was there to have a flawless event.
Yeah.
And on the day of the event, the local vendor there got us a wrong drape color, and we were about 5 hours away from the execution, the finishing of the job, and we were completely blank of what to do. So that was
The colors were completely...
The colors were different, totally different than what we had asked for, the local vendor there. Yeah. And so we had to call up the Delhi guy out of, at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Somebody had a connection there, and we got the color exactly, and we drove it down to Jaipur within 4 hours, and then in the last 1.5 hour we got the whole setup ready. So that was a time which it realized that 99% of the things you should do from your end, and rather not have somebody who's new as a vendor who you do not want to trust with. So yeah, then that was something which did give us one lesson, that we should not be depending upon the local vendors much, rather take everything from where you are. So that was a tough time. That was one of the tough times. Another time, there was one mandap which we had to create in between a swimming pool, and it was obviously, the hotel was not cooperative that time. So to create that, we got the place really late. We had about 6 hours to do it, and the hotel gave us permission about a couple of hours prior to do it. So a 6-hour job was done in 2 hours, and that was also one of the toughest, because the hotel was on our head, the client was also there, but luckily we finished the whole setup. So that was a setup which we also remember very, very distinctly, because all were having the blood pressure shot up to 200 that time. So these two incidents, I would say, that was a tough time which we did
So
have.
being in events, does it mean BP zyada hi hoga?
Yes.
Because you are always in this high pressure situation.
Yes. So you always work with a thin margin of error.
And timelines.
So yes, you have to have your timelines straight. You have to deliver what you have promised. You cannot show a Pinterest picture and say, "Acha, main ye karke de dunga." It doesn't happen. People come with us a lot of events that are done in US, UK, saying "ye karke dijiye," but we get them to reality, saying these are the pictures which were shot in different locations.
Got it.
These were the pictures which were shot with different drapes, different places. To get that same thing here today is not going to be possible. So this is what is going to be there. This is what you can do. If that reality hits, that's great. If no, then we be honest. We cannot do this. We are very honest that way, saying If it's possible, yes. Otherwise, it's okay to lose the job rather than have something which is your dreamy world created in your head and then not being able to deliver. So that is, yeah. So coming back, yes, you work with a thin margin of error. You work with absolute zero error mentality here, and timelines are the most dedicated things that you have to be following. I think if you want to know one incident of timeline, you can watch one documentary. It's called Burj Al Arab, when it was getting
Ready, yeah.
ready. There was one documentary which gave me goosebumps. So I think that it's again a hospitality industry, a service industry, where you have to be on your toes. Things can happen last minute. Things
No,
may
I think
change
when
last
I'm
minute.
also listening to you, one of the things that's happening is expectation setting has to be very right.
Yes.
Like you can't be selling overtly and not delivering the way
No,
you
no, you
should.
cannot. You cannot.
Yeah, yeah.
You sell what you are capable of. You promise what you are capable of. Overselling just for the sake of it, just for the sake of numbers, is an absolute no. You have to be honest with the reality. You have to pace yourself out with what is true, rather than giving a hyped thought process and not delivering.
Yeah.
That is something which we are very, very sure of as a company. We make sure that we do not oversell. We do not. In fact, even at times when we know that something is not needed, even if it's possible to do, we suggest the client, this may not be needed. Sometimes people have SFX. They have the blowers of colors, color bombs. They have spirals, and they have we tell them sometimes that this place will not be suitable for it.
Yeah.
We guide them right. It is needed to guide them right, to make sure that they trust you better. Trust value in weddings is very important. Trust value in any events, I would say, is very important. If you do not be a family member with them, if you are just a businessman with them, they will not be referring you. The 3,300 weddings that we have got under our belt, I would say 70% of them have come through references.
Yeah.
With people who I worked with in 2006 are still my clients. Their siblings are now getting married. Their second generation have started getting engaged. So they are the people who would refer you because you are true to your job. You do not oversell. You do not hype yourself for the sake of it. Deliverance is the key. Timely deliverance is the key. So that's what we work with. Whichever place or people you meet, you have to make it as a family. Otherwise, you are out of the industry. You have to make sure that.
And has this completely, like this industry changed in the last 15 years?
Oh, totally, totally. In terms of client expectations, it has gone to the roof because you are having everything at your beck and call. You have your stages, your setups, your SFX, your jewelry, your clothes, everything that you want is right there in front of you. All you have to do is click and tell, this is what I want. Also, it has made couple very much aware of things around. They are now aware that I do not want a 5,000 people wedding. I probably would be okay with a 300 people wedding in an intimate place rather than calling 5,000 people wedding who I don't even know.
Yeah.
They would rather spend that same amount of money, but into their own experience.
True.
They want to give experience. They want to give each and every person the importance who come for the events, who come for their wedding, rather than just having one dinner, which they don't even probably gonna meet them.
Yeah.
So that has changed. Vendor perspective, people have started getting things which were not available in India in last 15 years. So now we are having things that are probably, flowers that are probably available in Thailand, maybe Belgium, Antwerp. We import things from China. I think 50%, 60% of the things that have come in our industry are from China.
Right.
So that has changed, yes. So initially it never used to happen, but now we are exposed. The whole place it's become universal rather than a local business. Wedding industry in India in 2005-6 was about 11 billion USD. Uh, Now I think 2024 statistics shows it was 130 USD billion. So 12 times it has grown in last 15 years, and in another 5 it's going to go triple to that. So we are sitting on a very different culture of weddings now. We are looking at a different ball game of weddings altogether, because people from out of India are coming to India for the experience.
Right.
We have seen weddings happening from UK and US. The couples fly during December time. They come here and they book villas, they book palaces, they book hotels, buyouts, because the experience, the big fat wedding that it's called, is there in India and nowhere else. So the industry is booming, the industry is growing, and yes, 15 years it has completely taken it by the stride. So
Yeah, I think two fun things that I realize about wedding industry is shadi to sab karenge. So that's one part. So it's never going to die. And the second part definitely is that people are focusing on quality.
correct.
You know, like pehle, you had a budget and people would just stick by it, and
Correct.
all you would see is the gende ka phool everywhere.
Correct. Correct.
And today, like you said, there are flowers that are, imported for the weddings, which is crazy enough for me to even hear. Brilliant. And I also wanted to, understand that, have these preferences that these couples have during their weddings changed post-COVID?
A lot. Again, coming to the same thing, the couples have become more realistic.
Oh,
They have become more aware of what they want. In past, what used to happen was the parents used to take a call, the couple used to follow a lot of times. Now the decision making has gone to the couple, so they are aware of what menu they want. With the times that are changing, you don't want a bhel sev puri stall at every place. They have changed to a sushi. They've
Yeah.
gone to like a maybe like a Italian station or whatever. So these things are changing. You do not have the mama chachas taking the call for the couple. The couple now sit. They know exactly what is possible, what is not possible, and they are also making sure that the load is divided between them. It's the money part is divided between both of them. It's not only one party taking a load of the kharcha.
Wow.
It's both of them who are aware that it has to be chipped in. And a lot of times now the couple themselves are chipping in rather than the parents.
yeah.
So there is a very conscious awareness about what is going to happen. Like during COVID, we had 50 people weddings happening, 60 people weddings happening, which did have a spring effect in 2020, 2020 through to 22 and 23. But that has again come to a normal base level where we know the couple is going to be aware of their pockets, their choices, and they make that choices according to what their pockets. They're not going haywire. They're not going mad about spending, because then obviously they know that that is what is needed from them as of now.
And you have far more subdued parents. Yeah. So they're probably becoming spectators in the
Correct.
conversations rather than decision makers.
Correct. So they are
Amazing.
they are helpful. They are understanding that way for the couple as well. So initially, when out of 100 people, maybe 90 people were the parents were deciding about everything from their lehengas to whatever the decor or the khana. Now the couple is taking that decision. They've gone ahead and made sure that, again, exposure is one of the reasons that has made sure that it happens. But, yeah.
And how has AI changed or revolutionized this industry, or has it?
AI has changed it, but still a long way for AI to still take over the wedding and the event industry. AI has gone to a level where you have a timesheet about things, have your checklists ready, have your planning ready, maybe get ideas about the themes that you want to do, the lehengas that you want. That all that can be done through an AI thing. But this industry is very people friendly. You have to have the emotional touch. You have to have the person to person conversation that's the only way you will be able to know if I want to give my job to a particular person or no. As much as you make, the AI pitch ready, you still have to know and trust the person when you're sitting with the person. If you are not matching the vibe, I think even if you give them everything which is digitalized, they still will not come with you. So this industry needs your family member in it.
Yeah.
You have to become their inside person to have the job. Otherwise you cannot. If you are just going and selling, again, I don't think that's going to work, because they are
So it's
not
a very
there.
humanized.
Very humanized. So it will still take time. Right now, I think AI is in a very nascent stage with the industry, I would say, where humans are still more connected
I agree.
to this industry. So yeah.
Like you have to continuously understand who is sitting on the other
Yes.
end and
Yes.
what sort of expectations are coming
Yes,
through,
yes.
which probably an AI may not be able
Cannot,
to
still
match.
cannot. I think it's, even if it happens in future, I think about another 5 to 10 years still for AI to take over. Even I would 50% of the industry in terms of all the things that I noted. But otherwise, you still need a person sitting across you to give a job.
Yeah.
You have to have that person known to you, or having some background of what he or she has done in past, to make sure that your event of that day is done. Otherwise, I think AI cannot ever, at least in this industry, the personal touch cannot be given by them yet.
I have a fun question. So everything is on social media.
Right.
So, and I've seen that couples are like hyper engaging with social media even during the weddings.
Correct.
How has that been as an experience for you to watch happen?
So it's quite funny. It's quite funny, to be honest, because what happens is the focus of marriage or the rituals has started changing into a focus into or Instagram reel, which I feel has to have a little subdued effect, because what is important is the ritual, the actual ritual, or the process. A lot of couples nowadays, unfortunately, are having Instagram as their focus on for that. If I would say that. So if you take out that thought, because the reels are going to go, you guys look beautiful, you guys are having your day, it's going to go out on the social media. But if you take out that factor from your thought, trust me, you'll enjoy the wedding more.
Yeah.
So that is what I would tell today's couple, to look into what is happening, to be there in the moment rather than what is going to be uploaded. So that one thing I would say, maybe that focus needs to change a little, because that is what is real.
Yeah.
This is social,
Yeah.
where your heart and soul is your ritual, is your whole life with you. This is one day thing which is going to go on a social media, which you have to, it'll go, because you guys are looking pretty.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are made for each other. You are, this is important. Focus on now, focus on what it is. So I would say that to the couple today.
I agree, because every time I've gone, the hashtags are far more important
Yes.
than everything else.
Yes.
So, tell me the most beautiful wedding that you have ever curated. Share something about it, according to you, of course.
Yeah. I think the most beautiful wedding, I would say, was done at Sir Tata's house only. There was something which we gave everything to it. And the best part was sitting with him and discussing it and doing it according to what he wanted was obviously challenging. But again, something which we love doing.
What was the theme or something, if you could share with us?
So it was all made of, it was a mandap, it was a huge mandap made of Rajnigandha flowers, tube roses, if you may call it. The Rajnigandha florals were completely flowing from the mandap. There was four-sided real floral centerpiece. It was by the sea. The lawn facing was,
Wow.
there was the sea just around it. There was an aisle created. There were huge stands of florals which were completely made new for him. according to what he was preferring. So it was really nice. Though we've done grander weddings, I would say, but in terms of most beautiful, I would still call it very, very intimate and beautiful both, I would say.
So after doing 3,300 weddings, what's next for Saffron according to you?
So we are in the process of going global now. This year we are looking to open Dubai market. 2027 we are looking for Middle East in terms of Bahrain and Oman.
I was just going to say Bahrain, yeah.
So those are the markets which have opened up for Indians quite a lot, and there are a lot of weddings that are happening in those areas now.
Yes.
So yeah, so 2 places is what we are looking to expand. So 26, 27 that is a target, and in 5 years' time, probably an IPO. So
Beautiful.
that is what the whole team is working on it. So.
And if I were to ask you your dream project, something that would say, okay, man, this is it. This is amazing.
So my dream project, I would say, to have or conduct an event in again coming to Burj Al Arab. So there is a 7-star which I've always been amazed with. I love the way it is done. I love the whole passion with what it's made. So yeah, an event in Burj Al Arab would be something that would, for now, I would say a pinnacle of what we would want to do. So yeah, that is something which we want.
And from all of us, I really hope that happens soon for you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
amazing talking to you. So before I'll open the floor for questions, I have a rapid fire for you, and you may answer as rapidly as you could. So should I start?
Yeah.
So one word that defines you.
Eternal optimist.
Coffee or chai while working
Chai.
late nights?
Chai. Chai for sure, like 5 cups of chai. That is your fuel.
Your all-time favorite book?
There are 3, 4, honestly. One is Fountainhead. There is Alchemist. There is Rich Dad Poor Dad. There is The Richest Man in Babylon. These are the non-fiction ones. In fiction, if you ask me, then I love reading all the books by Khalid Hosseini. Yeah, those are the ones which I would recommend. And
So you're an avid reader.
yeah,
A trek that left you speechless?
ABC,
Okay.
Annapurna Base Camp. So the Annapurna Base Camp basically is also close to me because it was my first trek, and seeing those humongous mountains of Himalayas was amazing. So it is like a 10-day trek. It has lakhs of stairs up and down. It takes everything out of you, but it does make you humble as a person. When you're standing and there are towering Himalayan peaks with snow-clad mountains there, that is something which just makes you so humbled at that time. You are just lost in the beauty of that. And it's called a shy mountain, Annapurna, because you see the mountain only on the second last day of the trek. You're trekking towards it, but you're not seeing the mountain.
Right.
So before you're going to go there, it's the second last day is what the turn comes, and that's when you see the mountain. And the beauty, I still can imagine how beautiful it was. And it also gave us a glimpse of an avalanche which was falling from there, so
Wow.
made it more special. So yeah, it's one of the most
Amazing.
beautiful treks that I've been to.
Thank you for sharing. Your first big wedding that you've ever worked on?
Udaipur wedding. Udaipur, it was Lake End hotel in Udaipur, right by the lake. It was, I think, about 1,700 people. It was also my first project outdoor.
Okay.
So there was a challenge for us also, but it was beautiful. So people, again, it came through a reference which we worked in past with, and they blindly trusted us to do the wedding, and we just jumped into it. So yeah, it was a 4-day project, about 8 events, but yeah, it was very nice. The whole themes were curated long before. We worked 6 months on the project, and like I said, the family still has been giving us references from their own family members. So yeah, it's the work that worked. So Udaipur wedding was the first one.
Brilliant. The hotel you love working with the most?
Taj Mahal Palace, Bombay.
Bombay. One decor trend you're tired of seeing?
Pastels. Pastels for sure. Like everybody wants to have the pastel shade when they are doing a wedding now. They just want to catch what the celebrities have done. Uh, I think it's passe now, so I think we should move on to it.
One decor trend you're excited about?
So it's called Italian Summer. We are curating it. It's coming up in the month of November. It's very close to the Opa Amalfi kind of a thing.
Wow.
Blue and white theme. It's basically run for a haldi that we are curating it. I think if that happens well, it's going to be the trend of the season. So that's something which we've been working again for like one and a half month. It's coming up in November for one of our projects. So yeah, it's
If not weddings, which industry would you be in today?
teaching.
Teaching.
Teaching for sure. I would be any day, at the blink of my eye, I would have been a teacher, if not weddings.
So your first podcast at Midas and you're actually in a training institute for entrepreneurs.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, I know. Funniest client request you've ever received?
Oh, that has to be the Surat one. So we were actually at a hospitality desk. We were, there were people checking in, and about 200 people at one time then came in and out. So I was trying to help other people there, with the check-ins. And one of my members came and said, "Sir, request aaya." I said, "What happened?" It's, "Sir, unke bathroom mein dabba chahiye." I said, "What?" It's a 5-star.
Why do you want a dabba?
I think unke bathroom mein dabba chahiye. Then I realized that, they are there from tier 2 cities and they're used to the dabba. They're like, I can't get a dabba right now. From where do I get a dabba? I have to ask the hotel. So that was one thing that just zapped me out. So yeah, I still remember that my face just fell flat. I was like, who wants dabba in a 5-star right now? Like, bathroom mein dabba chahiye logo ko. I said, nothing doing, talk to the hotel. I said, we cannot get a dabba right now. Like, we are event managers.
We don't have dabbas.
We don't have dabbas here. So that was one, it has to be the top of the list right now, I guess.
Most stressful part of weddings?
Timelines is for sure that you have to complete it on time. More than that, there are certain times which you don't have control on. Like we've seen rains in December. So that is like something which we can't really control. So those times we need to really pull up our socks, and somewhere or the other we have to do a makeshift kind of a mandap or a backdrop or whatever. So those are the things which is not in our hands. So yeah, but timelines are the ones which we need to make sure that it happens on time. So that would be the top of the list in terms of making it happen.
And the most rewarding part of weddings?
The bride smile in the end. If she's happy, everyone's happy. So we wait for that particular thing. Like, okay, if she's happy, then we are set there. So.
Lovely. A celebrity wedding you would have loved to design?
Tom Holland, Zendaya. I think that would be something that we would look forward to.
One thing couples should stop stressing about?
How they would look on social media.
Biggest misconception about wedding planners?
That they are costly. They are not costly. They come with their own price range, which will make the event a grand success.
Get that. The person you lean on most during chaos?
My family, wife and daughter.
Amazing. One thing you learned from Priya?
Eye for detail.
Eye for detail.
Eye for details.
A life lesson weddings taught you?
Celebrate every moment.
Beautiful. Your go-to stress buster?
Wow. Friends.
Friends. And finally, one line you live by?
Take it one step at a time.
One step.
You're gonna reach there. So this I learned from the trekking. Take it one step at a time. You're gonna reach there any which ways, but that don't rush things. Do not hesitate. Do not feel that people have gone ahead of you or people are behind you. they teach us in Trek that, so they always tell us that you're not late, you're not early, you are on your path, you're on your journey, and you want to reach there. But have one step at a time, take one step at a time. So that is what I have learned from the trekking.
Beautiful. Thank you for watching till the end. It's been one of those episodes where you really start understanding the meaning of resilience, not giving up, really focusing on the minutest details at work and making sure that you're one of the most adaptable people at work. Entrepreneurship today is something that cannot let you be averse to adaptability. And Gaurav really focused on that aspect. I hope you enjoyed the episode and you all, continue to keep hearing us. Please subscribe, like and share. Please comment on all these beautiful episodes that we're curating for you and stay tuned.